If you've known me for a while, you may or may not know that over the last year or so, I have made a large collection of scale model diecast cars. Um, and a large majority of these diecast models, which are probably my favorite kind of diecast models, are China market dealer editions. These are models where they're made to be promotional products for a car manufacturer in the form of a scale model of their cars. Now, this is not something exclusive to China. This is something that, there has been like some American things of it, some European things of it. It's not nearly as common nowadays as it used to be as it used to be like years and years ago, but it is, but somewhere where this has not died off at all is China. And you can get, like, if you can think about a very regular car that is sold there, you can likely get a diecast model of it. And I have a ton of them. I've bought like a ton. I bought like a ton of them. I love them all. It's just they're really cool. Um, and the reason I bring that up is because even though I have stopped mass buying them, I do still go ahead and order more when I find ones that I will find interesting, that I really like. And the reason I bring that up is because I've gone ahead and bought one. Now, before I show it to you, um, well, I will say I haven't opened them yet. I kind of wanted to do this on camera on this really shitty Chromebook camera. Um, that makes this room look like it's really dark in here, even though I have a massive overhead light on. Um, the those but what I wanted to do is I wanted to open this just on camera, share the experience because honestly, opening these is a treat. They're all packaged just amazingly, and opening these is a treat. Actually, seeing them in front of you, I wanted to actually share that. And um, I will go ahead and tell you what this is a model of because it's kind of one I've been looking for a while also being one that popped up by surprise. So. A car that has kind of been on my radar to get a model of is the Roewe 950. I don't know if I'm saying Roewe right. It's a hard word to say. It's spelt weird. I try to pronounce it. It comes out weird. Roewe, Roewe, Roewe is probably the best name, probably the best way I've pronounced it. Um. But a car that has been on my radar for a while is the Roewe 950. Um, and in case you don't know what this is, you may or may not know what this is. You probably don't know what this is. This is a it's a China market luxury sedan from a China market car manufacturer, Roewe, that operates under SAIC motor. Um, and Um, this car is based on a Buick because over in China, General Motors also operates under SAIC Motor. In fact, I think nowadays they only operate under SAIC Motor over there. So so this car, the Roewe 950, is based on the Buick LaCrosse. It is not just a simple rebadge. I know there are some cars there that are just a simple rebadge, but this one is not that. This is not just Roewe badges slapped on a LaCrosse. Um, it it's more so based on the lacrosse. It has a lot from the lacrosse. It has a lot of like the interior, the exterior panels, whatever. But it does largely have different exterior styling, some different bits in the interior. I largely noticed the radio when I was doing some research on this car. And yeah, but it's based on the Buick LaCrosse sedan, more specifically the 2011 through 2016 generation. Um and I don't think it continued on to the generation after that. I would have to kind of look into that to confirm that. However, so this one's been on my radar mostly because it's based on the Buick LaCrosse. That's how I found interest in it. And overall, researching this car further, I found even more interesting things that I'm going to share with you with this model because it does get more interesting than just being a Buick LaCrosse. Now, the model that has been on my radar has just been of the regular Roewe 950. In fact, up until I found this was the only one that I knew existed. So, and essentially, this model was of the earlier version of the Roewe 950, and it still had the V6 from the LaCrosse, except from my research, I think it had a 6-speed DCT instead of the 6-speed automatic. I'm not sure if that's right, because it doesn't make any sense at all. It might just be the regular 6-speed automatic from the LaCrosse, but it just got labeled as a DCT for some reason. I'm not entirely sure if that's right. So, if I talk about transmission with this, take it with a little grain of salt. Because I have no idea. It's just what I was able to find. So, um, the one that's been on my radar was of the pre-facelift. You open up the hood, it shows the V6 in there. That's the only model of this car that I knew existed. Um, but I've never bought one of them because I largely get these off of eBay. I largely cannot find these anywhere else actually, apart from some AliExpress listings and yeah. Um, and every single one of these was listed at like $300 to $400, which is like 4 times the amount that I usually pay for models. And that's before shipping. Shipping was already listed at like 30, $40. Uh Nowadays in the current fantastic year, it's now like 50, 60. I think one of them was listed at 70. Yeah, that wasn't happening. I'm not paying that much for China market lacrosse, sorry. Um so yeah, that wasn't happening. But um uh suddenly a few weeks ago, it is a model that I periodically check. There's a few models that I check where, I know the models exist, but they're usually really expensive, and I but I do periodically check them. One of them is the Buick Park Avenue, which was sold over in China and is a rebadge of the Holden Statesman, which we got here in the US as the Chevrolet Caprice police car. Um, and when I went to check the Roe 950 this time, the few like when I occasionally remember it exists, there was a listing that popped up, at a reasonable price, or reasonable to what I consider reasonable, um, of I might as well just get the box over here now of this, the Roe E950, which I had no idea existed. Um. Yeah, I had no idea that this existed. Um, and yeah, here it is. There was a bunch of listings of this. The initial listing that I found was actually what appears to be the first person to list these. Because what ends up happening with China market models on eBay, what ends up happening often is one person, a very legitimate seller, which by the way, the person I bought this from, fantastic. Um, the like one person will go ahead and list, or like they'll go ahead and they'll have these models and they will list them on eBay, and then like 10 other sellers will go ahead and like just use their images, make a listing of their own that's slightly cheaper, or sometimes not even. and we'll just go ahead and well, basically just also list it. Where they get the models from, I have no idea. Do they even get the models? Do you get the model after you pay the money? I have no idea. But yeah, I always make sure to get it from what appears to be the original seller. Um so yeah, essentially what this is, the E950 here, this is a later facelift version of the Roewe 950. And this is a plug-in hybrid model, which is especially interesting because the Buick LaCrosse did not have a plug-in hybrid variant here. Um, so I will touch up more on the car itself as we get in this, but without further ado, let's go ahead and open this. Um, so as you can see, if it's not open yet, I do not leave these in the boxes. I get the models because I want to look at them. This one is painted black. The E950s were all painted black. Not the real car, the model, from what I can tell. From what I can tell, the models are all painted black, as it, kind of shows on the box here. Um, so it is going to be all fingerprinty and stuff. I'm not wearing gloves. I don't care. I mean, I do care about my models, but I don't care to keep them pristine. If I were to keep them pristine, I'd keep them in the box. I'm not looking to resell them someday. I get them because I like them. So yeah, let's get in here, open this up. And this is my first time actually opening one up on camera, just because of the fact that I do want to actually share this experience, and this one is actually really special to me, like getting this one. So yeah, now supposedly this is a 1/16 scale model. Um, and as you can see, this is actually official Roewe. This is what I mean by the weird spelling. I'm sorry, China, but that's hard to pronounce. That's focus on it, Gamma. That's hard to pronounce. I'm. It might be easier, however you say, however it's actually said in China, but like, as a dumb American, that's hard to pronounce. But yeah, as you can see, actual official Roewe motor. It's what these models are. They're official. So let's get this open here. Okay. Um. Hopefully, there's no screws. I like when sometimes these are actually packed very nicely to where they don't need screws, and then sometimes they're just screwed in. Usually dealer models aren't screwed in. Usually they're good enough to not be screwed in. Oh, it's got my little favorite thing that holds the box shut, apart from our saran wrap. Well, this one helps hold it shut after you take this off. The box, I care about the box, but I still throw it. Um, Supposedly these are not 1/18, they are 1/16. I don't know how much I believe that, unless this is really thin, because this looks like the average 1/18 scale box, but every single Roewe 950 model has been listed as a 1/16. I actually didn't notice that when I first bought it, because 1/16 is a weird scale. I don't know how much I believe it, though, because this looks like a 1/18 box. Unless the foam is just really thin, but then again, 1/16 can't possibly be too much different. But so I'm actually glad it has like this wrapping instead of tape, because I hate when these are taped shut. I'm just trying to find the end. It's like finding the start of toilet paper or a roll of tape. And I found it. Okay. It's just really hard to find at first. Even though it took me really quick, it is hard to find. Yes, I am teetering it off the edge of a table right now. Um, Side. Here. I love how I say it's hard to find and then I find it really easily. I mean, it is hard to find, but maybe I'm like just used to it or something, which is scary that I've opened enough of these to be used to that. Wow, my computer just jiggled when the box bumped into it. Let me actually just double check. No screws. Yes, no screws. Good. Good, 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 good. I love no screws. I know that seems like it would be moving around in here, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. If it does, I don't care. Get this out of here first. Oh yeah, no, that's totally 116. Okay, it is rather thin. That is not 118. That is too big for 118. Oh, hello, beautiful. Yeah, see, from this, if you've seen a Buick LaCrosse, like, you can't really see the front and rear ends here. This looks like a Buick LaCrosse. To be fair, it looks like every other sedan, but oh, hello. Oh, the fuck? Why did it come with a screwdriver? What? Wait. No, I don't see anything to screw it to a base. Yep, scale 116. Wow. This is cool. Yeah, I've already put fingerprints all over this. Um, that's weird. Why did it come with a screw? And also the okay, okay, the front passenger seat is in the back and it okay, the interior looks like there's some assembly required. The interior did not make the journey. It looks like it all just snaps back into place, but yeah, the interior did not make the journey. We do have a door opener tool. I'll keep it on standby. I don't know why it came with a screw. I mean, I'll happily take another one. As you can see, this is a regular model screwdriver because I already had one at the ready in case I needed it. That's weird. Why did it come with a screwdriver if it doesn't really need one? Also, the chrome on the edges has a little bit of wear, but again, I don't really care. Sometimes these things just degrade from sitting, and I have no idea how long it took until these actually ended up on eBay. Obviously, it took almost 10 fucking years. This car's been out of production for like 10 years. Almost. Like 8 or 7. Um, yeah, look at that. That is nice. I mean, these things are never built perfect. Like, it's built pretty good, but like this left rear wheel is kind of jiggly. I'm gonna stop playing with that. Um, again, it's fine though. It's fine. I don't really mind it. Um, it has. I don't really mind it. I mean, to put things in a perspective, I have a 118 China market Nissan Altima, and the wheel is literally just held on there with hopes and dreams. Like it came in and the thing was tucked under the car. Anyways, yeah, this is beautiful. Um, okay, first things first, let me actually get it open. If I can use the door handle to get it open, and I will. We got the folding mirrors. Um, I won't use the door opener tool unless I absolutely have to because I hate using them. This is gorgeous. I know this might just seem like a regular stand, but this is honestly gorgeous. So, first off, let me fix the interior here. Um, I oh yeah, there's definitely some stuff got tossed around in shipping, along with just the overall build quality. It is you can see there's no passenger seat in the thing because there it is. Yeah, let me get this stuff fixed first, and see, we got on camera diecast repair because nothing ever comes in. Trust me, this is not the worst condition I have had a diecast arrive in. Look, there's a Roewe e950 seat. Nice. Oh, look, it looks like there's a little fold-out tray on the back. um, oh yeah, this looks like it's supposed to be glued in, and it's just not. Um, Yeah, let me just slide that in there. Get it into position, and that's good enough. Yeah, it's holding itself there. That's good enough. Um, Same with this Rio Center console, which this is a Rio Center console. I'm saying this so casually. I didn't notice that this had a Rio Center console. The Buick LaCrosse did not get a Rio Center console. It had a bench in the back. To be fair, in reality, I prefer the bench, but it is still really fancy. Let me actually take this back out. This might be easier to not have to work my fingers around it. Um, and I just noticed my face is reflecting off the car. That's lovely. Um, oh, there you go. Um, okay, this is difficult. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to turn this into diecast repair session. In fact, I've realized I've barely covered anything, and I just dropped that into place. Yeah, go in there, center console. There we go. Yeah, I've just dropped that into place. Okay, that is loose as shit. But it's held in there enough for my purposes. Um, yeah, I did not mean to turn this into minor diecast repair session, but it did. You in? I'm trying not to press too hard because I don't want to just put a hole in the floor. Are you in? A little bit disappointing that that didn't make the journey, but whatever. That's kind of a risk, getting something from so far away, especially with rapid shipping. Why don't you go into place like you would? There you go. Ah, there you go. Anyways, Roewe e950. Buick Lacrosse based. Is there anything else? Other preparation? Yeah, we can. It's like a little thing on the back. Little thing on one of the badges to peel off. Without taking the badge off, please. Yes, it's not taking the badge off. Good. Come on. It almost took the badge off. Just try to. Um, so yeah, if so this is the car. See, front end doesn't. It's weird because this is the facelift front end. The front end is not a Buick LaCrosse design, but I can also totally see this just wearing a Buick badge. If maybe this would have been Buick design if it wasn't trying to blend in with Opel. Um, but yeah, honestly, really good looking car. Like really, really good looking car, in my opinion. Um, rear end, and let me actually show you the interior. Yeah. So this, I don't know if you can really see it, but it's largely a Buick LaCrosse interior, but with some changes. Now, like I said, this one is the E950. So the E950 means it's the plug-in hybrid. It has a little badge on the fender there that says I can't read it. It's very tiny. I think it says net green. It's apparently the net green hybrid system. Um Also because I showed you we got the trunk here, which it's all felt lined and stuff. I love that. I could massive trunk like I remember from the lacrosse my parents had. Um yeah, just absolutely massive. And under the hood. This is why I might need the door opener tool. Unless there's a button. Uh, no, there's not a pop assist. Okay. Sometimes there's a button under these and it'll push the hood up a little. I just need to find a good place so I can get in here. That's part of the grill, not the hood, so don't yank on that. I've really smudged this thing up. The black painted cars are really easy to smudge. There we go. So yeah, under there you can see all the orange cables and stuff of being a hybrid. Now, yep, there's engine. There you go. I should really waited. Um, so, yeah, there it is. That's the well, plug-in hybrid powertrain. So, um, so now a little bit of overview of this powertrain because this was something I really looked into afterwards because again, the Buick LaCrosse never got a plug-in hybrid powertrain here. You have probably heard Buick LaCrosse hybrid at some point. But if you have, it's a more mild hybrid. The the Buick LaCrosse, or at least this generation of the LaCrosse, only got two powertrains here. It had a 2.5 liter four-cylinder, which was also the base engine the Chevy Impala that's based on. Oh no, this one wasn't really based on the Impala. It sort of was. But a 2.5 liter four-cylinder or a 3.6 liter V6, and the four-cylinder was a mild hybrid, which was just a little electric motor in the six-speed automatic that would give it a little boost off the line. This is not that. I did some research into this, and this is a 1.4 liter turbo four-cylinder with a with of course a hybrid system that I'm gonna assume is similar to the Chevy Volt, where which is actually very similar to something like a Toyota Prius, where you know it's it's electric and the engine working together to drive the wheels. Um, yeah, I can't figure out anything about the transmission in this car because the only information I can find online states that this is a two-speed automatic, which in the world of hybrids, I've heard three-speed automatic. MG, I know right now has a three-speed automatic in the MG3, but and it works amazingly well. You know, the electric motor driving the wheels works what would be gears one through three, and then once the gas engine kicks in, gears one through three are simulating what would really be four through six in a six speed. But anyways, we're not talking about the MG3 here, though I do wish they made a model of the new MG3s. Um, no, this states that it's a two-speed automatic. I don't, like I said with the six-speed DCT and the V6 ones, I don't know how much I believe that. I honestly would not be surprised if this is really an ECVT that claims to be a two-speed automatic. Uh, kind of like how the Chevy Tahoe Hybrid had a dual ECVT and claimed to have a four-speed automatic. Um, but this powertrain, the 1.4 liter turbo four cylinder here is when I looked into it, I found out this is the exact same one that you'll find in like the previous generation like Chevy Trax and Buick Encore, Opel Mocha, um I um and just various things to Chevy Cruze. In other words, as much as I like to be optimistic about what's normally seen as unreliable engines, knowing this GM 1.4 turbo, yeah, these are all leaking oil by this point. Like these are all leaking oil. um, but yeah, it's this is essentially this powertrain is As much as the Chevy Volt's 1.4 liter doesn't share a lot with this engine, the best way to describe it is this is essentially a turbocharged Chevy Volt powertrain, which is really interesting to me because we never really got something like this here. We didn't get a 1.4 turbo plug-in hybrid powertrain in 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 something here. In a GM product here, especially not the biggest sedan that they offer. That's not a Cadillac. Um, so yeah. Um, so essentially, the plug-in hybrid powertrain here is similar to what you'll find in like the Chevy Volt, the Prius Prime, where no matter how much marketing makes it confusing, it is a regular hybrid system of the engine and the motor working together. You do not have to plug it in, but you can plug it in, and it has a bigger battery for some electric range. I have no idea what the electric range was on these. Um, but uh, yeah, essentially what this uh that's what this is, and I just find it really interesting. I mean, for one, it's already nice that I could finally get a model of the Roewe e950, but even more so, this one's just really interesting to me. The fact that it is essentially a plug-in hybrid Buick LaCrosse. And I mean, I figured, when I bought this, I figured that it could not get more interesting than that. But it does actually get more interesting than that. Because when I went to go buy this, there was actually two color options. Now, what did I just say? Every Roewe 950 model with either the V6 or the plug-in hybrid power, or the power, every Roewe 950 and E950 model came in black. However, there was an option for silver. But what I just told you is not a lie, though, because let me get into this. When I went to go order the model, I saw there was black and silver, and I ordered the model. I ordered it in black. I like the black. Um, However, I didn't pay close attention to the silver one. And the silver one, I noticed when I was looking at it was still listed on the listing as an E950. And even other listings that were probably scams had this silver one listed as an E950. So I thought it was an E950. Um, until I took a closer look at it. And I noticed that under the hood, things looked a little off. It did not look like that plug-in hybrid four-cylinder I just showed you. But it also didn't look like the V6 either. Um, and that's when I found out something really interesting. That it wasn't an E950. Now before I tell you more about this, I should probably just show you. I bought this one too. I bought this one too. This is okay. You probably don't see it yet. That just looks like the outline of a 950, right? And I don't think from this angle you can read the top just yet, but if you can, then it already kind of spoiled the surprise. But uh, now I usually don't order models in different colors, but this is a different model. This is not an E950. Because when I went to go look at this on the eBay listing, I thought, okay, it's silver. It kind of looks like, and then I noticed it was a pre-facelift, so I was like, oh, cool, it's a pre-facelift. But I kind of like the facelift one in black, so I'll buy that one. And I bought that one, and then I noticed that there was something interesting up with this, and then I caved and bought this one. Also, like afterwards. Um, which by the way, this one plus that one's still cheaper than if I bought one of those V6 models from probably scam sellers. Um, but the reason I did this, flesh it out on the top. That is not fleshing it out on the top. Let me see if you can read this. Fuel Cell 950. This is a hydrogen fuel cell version of this model. The Buick LaCrosse, technically, the Buick LaCrosse was made at one point with a hydrogen fuel cell. Now, here's the thing. If you talk to me about hydrogen fuel cell cars, I will talk about them like they're interesting. I actually don't find them as interesting as I make it sound. Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, they are really interesting. But they're super impractical, at least here. They're really interesting, but they're super impractical. I'll talk about them like they're super interesting, but I don't talk about them like they're the future. Um, but this is still really cool to me that the Buick, that technically, by technicality, under a rebrand, the Buick LaCrosse was sold as a no, I'm lying when I say that it wasn't sold. But I'll get to that in a few. And by a few, I mean it's probably gonna take me like 15 minutes, given how long I've taken the rest of this video. The Buick LaCrosse was at some point made with a hydrogen fuel cell powertrain. Now, if you don't know what a hydrogen fuel cell is, that is essentially you fill there is some hydrogen tanks um that you fill up in the car. You fill up on just pure hydrogen gas, and essentially when the car is running, that that goes into that hydrogen gas gets pumped into a chamber where it then gets mixed with air and creates water. And the creation of water from mixing the hydrogen and oxygen gives off electricity, apparently. And that is used to power a battery that powers an electric motor that drives the car instead of just charging up an electric car battery. Um, so because I think sometimes I hear hydrogen fuel cell talked about, and then people think it's a hydrogen engine under the hood. It's not. It is an electric car driving off of electric only, but that electricity is generated by making water, which gets pissed out of the car underneath. Um, so I'm gonna get more into this after I open this, but I just wanted to say how excited I was to find out that this exists. So let's get into the fuel cell 950 or the 950 fuel cell. I I don't know which direction it is. Like if you look at it in Chinese here, it's 950 fuel cell, but then it says fuel cell 950 in English. Um, so I don't really know what the proper saying for it is. I think it's 950 fuel cell. Um, yeah, there's a big story behind this one that I'm going to get into after I get it out of the box. As you can see, it's a bit of a different box here. It's interesting because the box for the E950 is like silver, but the model's black, and this one the box is black and the model's silver. Into this, and let's see if this one comes with an unnecessary screwdriver as well. So why did my computer just give off a Discord notification? I literally have it on Do Not Disturb. Um, the however, essentially, this is the same car. I have bought a model of the same car. It's packaged the same, it seems like. But okay, see, this is what I mean by it's hard to find. I cannot find what it said. There it is. No. Again, it's like finding the start of a brand new roll of toilet paper. Fuck. Found it. Um, I'll control be cleaning this up after. Um, yeah, no, this part's really boring. Um, what the hell? Oh, maybe. Yes. Let's unleash this thing. This thing that exists. Let's unleash it. It's silver and actually has a lining on top, which the other one didn't for some reason. Sometimes they forget it. And you can see that it's very liveried up. Stick it up. Why did I say that? No door opener tool, of course. Um, oh, the interior is intact. Sweet. And the rear seat does not have a center console. Why would they go through the trouble of that? Anyways, let's get you out of here. Oh, it's a total cross wheels, I think. Um, this one is heavier and built better. Oh my god, they detailed the underside. Okay. I'm gonna need to do a comparison of the other one. I need to get the other one back out. And this one doesn't have a screwdriver. This one did not come with a screwdriver. That's fair. I don't know why the other one even did. I'm gonna get the other one back out. I'm gonna need it for comparison's sake. So this is the fuel cell. Memorize it. There you go. And this one is the E950. Memorize it. Folding the mirrors out. I'm gonna try to take a pic. There you go. Um, yeah. So very similar, but you can see that this one has a different front end and it has a different rear end. Because it is a pre-facelift. Don't mind the Discord notifications. My computer's fucking dumb. Um. Anyways, yeah, you can definitely see the difference of this is the facelift. This is a pre-facelift, and this one, I'm just using my finger now. It's easier. Has, oh my god. I am gonna just literally just turn down the fucking volume on my computer now. Um, so this one, as you can see, the plug-in hybrid system, and this one, when I open up the hood, has a square. We'll look at that again in a minute. And the reason I freaked out about the underside, I didn't show you the underside, but obviously you can see regular gas car bit. What the fuck? Oh my god, the exhaust is a dummy. That's okay. This has dual dummy exhaust. This has dual double tips, and it has one exhaust coming out of one side. Oh, that's funny. um, to be fair, the lacrosse we had the same kind of setup, except they weren't double tips. These were all just single units, but it had dual. I I mean, I guess four cylinder is more set up for single, but I'm sure even the V6 went to a single pipe at some point. Still, that's kind of funny that this is a dummy on this side. But it gets even funnier. But this looks like a regular gas car underneath. This has all that. It has all like it actually is. It actually is detailed with you know. You got the electric motor stuff up here, whatever this is, skid plate, whatever. There's the hydrogen tank. It's round because that hydrogen tank. It's better for it to be round than square, but that's also really low to the ground. Holy shit. But yeah, this is all like electrical stuff down here and all that. That's cool. I wasn't expecting this to actually be. Also, you can see dual dummy exhaust tips. I'm putting this on the table. I want to see how low that tank is to the ground. That is really really low. Hold on. That is. I'm gonna just get my phone camera to show you guys. I mean, it's not dangerously low, but that's still a lot lower than I'd like that to be. That's still a lot lower than I'd like that to be. Um. So, anyways, now let's get the E950 out of here. Sitting your thing for now. Good boy. Um. So yeah, 950. Respect the meal. 950 fuel cell. What the fuck? So let me do the quick look around, just like the other one. Interior and stuff is pretty much the same, but I'll still just open up the doors. The only difference is in the back. There's oh my god, I keep hitting this thing in ways to where I'm afraid I broke it, but I didn't, which is good. Okay, remember what I said about this being built better? This door is tremendously. The package just arrived. I'll be right back. Anyway, sorry about that. I am back. Remember what I said about this thing being feeling like it's built better than the other one? Not the sunroof. That's fine. Yeah. This is the driver's side rear door is like tremendously loose compared to the rest. But yeah, a big difference is there is no rear center console to fall out on me. Um, Overall though, everything about this is the same essentially. Yeah, I don't know if it's focused on that or not, but that's the interior. All nice and felt lined. Um, yeah. Folding mirrors again. Very stiff on this one. Apart from this one that I smacked, but this one's fine though. It's not broken off. Does it still have the whole? Oh my god! No, no, no! Wait, no! Oh my god, the trunk is. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this or not. The trunk is actually affected by the hydrogen fuel tank. There's two of them. There isn't just one. One shows underneath, the other one's. Oh, okay. So here's the trunk, right? I don't know if you were able to see into the other one, but that is not nearly as spacious of a trunk. That is not nearly as spacious of a trunk. But there's a bump, like there's a wall here, and there's a bump down here. There's a grab thing here. We're gonna see this together. Pull this up. Is there a hydrogen tank under there? There is. There's a hydrogen tank. There's the hydrogen tank. And the reason I was just freaking out is because there's another thing you can pull down here. There's another hydrogen tank. There is two of them. I was wondering why there was only one. There was only one. There's usually two. Oh, that's so interesting. Again, I was not expecting that amount of detail in it. Like the underside, I wasn't expecting them to actually go to that amount of detail in this. That's really cool. I'm more amazed by the trunk than I am of the underside and the engine area. Let's talk about the engine area though. So, as you can see, there we go, fuel cell. I don't know what this actually is. I mean, this is all part of the electrical drive unit, I'm pretty sure. Um, but now that I have the hood open, like I did with the other one, it's time to actually talk about it. So I was doing research on this one, of course, like I did with the, like I did with the, like I did with the plug-in hybrid, and this one was even more interesting because this one has, um, because this one never went into production. But that's not to say that it wasn't made, because technically it was produced, but it wasn't sold to the public or even fleets or anyone. So this one is honestly really fun because this was part of a bunch of Roewe. I think it was a bunch of just Saic stuff in general, because I think there was some Woolings and stuff too, where they were trying to make a bunch of green cars, which, by the way, I haven't even talked about the paint on this really. This like fancy little look at me, I'm green paint. And then screams fuel cell to just scream, hey, look at me, I'm being green. Fuck you for not. I'm time to be insufferable. Um, but anyway, actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do the front end. I'm gonna do the trunk with this open because I think this will hold itself. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because that's so cool. I'm amazed by that. I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't notice that in any. I don't even think the trunk was open in any of the pictures. Um, the However, when it came to the 950 fuel cell here, it was part of just a lot of Saic vehicles that were made, either electric or fuel cell. I think a lot of them were fuel cell. To basically just show off some green tech at auto shows over there. I don't exactly remember what auto show this. I think it was the Shanghai Auto Show that this was first shown at. But this wasn't just a show car. Something that was really interesting is the fact that this, um, yeah, this, they did actually make a few of these. I don't know exact. It might have said. Hold on. Let me see if I have it in my notes here. So the fuel cell, as it says here, okay, there was okay. Um, Okay, so they were allowed to be leased by, they did make some to be leased by fleets. Um, and a total of 50 were made. Uh, and something really interesting about these was, hang on, okay, I don't know if the fleet was ever sold, but anyways, there was 50 of these made. And those 50 cars, I don't know if this was a combined total or if they all did it, but they did 500,000 kilometers. Again, I don't know if that's a combined total or if they all did it, but that yeah, that's what I was able to read on this. And there's not much information on these. There's power specs and stuff, but I don't really care about that with this. Um excuse me. Like this thing is just beyond interesting to me. Um But yeah, that's They weren't ever sold just to the public, and I do really wonder if those 50 still exist, or how many of them still exist, if any of them still do. And this thing is just even more interesting to me, and I it amazes me that technically the Buick LaCrosse had these powertrains. I know this really isn't a Buick LaCrosse anymore, but technically it still is. So, oh, that's really cool. This model is way cooler than I thought it was going to be. I was not expecting it to have as much detail compared to the plug-in hybrid one as it did. I thought it was just going to be like, because for the most part, this looks like the V6 model that I said costs like a stupid amount of money. Because, you guys can't really get. Oh my God! I was just trying to compress the suspension. Um, and, oh, that's stiff. I feel like I'm gonna break it. Um, yeah, this was I made one of the wheels loose doing that. It's the same wheel. Ah, damn it. Okay. Um, so, but wow, this thing is actually really made really detailed. But yeah, these were the two models that I got. Um, honestly, these ones are really cool. I like them. They and I honestly looking at them, they were a lot more interesting than I was expecting them to be. Um, yeah, I just wanted to show those off though, and sorry this is so long. I doubt anyone. I don't know if anyone's actually sat through this whole thing. I'm not editing it down. Um, this yeah, just a couple really interesting models, and I'll yeah. Anyways, thanks.